Okay, I'm making a few extra adjustments here to the video, but I went ahead and turned it on. I got some new colors, real excited about. I'm going to try some of these color techniques that I have seen videos on. I'm stepping over to the other one here real quick. I'm going to reset it. Found out reading about it that you can, it's a pretty easy way to turn off all the other applications that are running on these things. So I try to do that ahead of time so that all the power in the iPod or iPhone is able to go to the video camera. So this had a ton of things open. Oh my gosh. So now only the camera app is open. That's much better. And I think that's it. I'm just going to set the iPod up here to capture stuff that's on the other side. Kind of get a close-up of what you'd see. Me working at the bench. Move it back here and I'll go ahead and get it started. There it goes. Okay, so like I said, new colors, which I'm real excited about, and I want to try this color technique that the guy uses at Rose Tree Glass in New Orleans, and I think that I had it figured out just by looking at it, but you know, we're just gonna have to see because it seemed too simple. And we'll see if that really is the case, if it was just not quite showing everything in the video, which you can't blame him for. It's a really unique look. But maybe from what he showed, I can figure it out from there. Just turned down the pipe warmer. It was getting everything so hot, it was kind of melting all the residual glass together. So, as far as the shape of the piece, get my piece of chalk, and I just want to try something kind of simple that shows off this color technique. I'm going to kind of talk to that camera and do a long, high-shouldered, long piece with maybe a little opening here. But the trick is going to be to get that neat color technique that he gets that kind of layers in the color, and to me it can really look like the landscape around here, which I love. And basically he does kind of the opposite on these shape things. As far as the color application, he'll lay on a bunch of transparent color on the first gather, and then layer over that. He had what looked to me like enamel white frit, so I'm going to do that. Gather back up. I'm going to go ahead after that and twist it in like he did, and then gather over that and then blow out the shape. So I hope it comes out looking like that. I'll be surprised if it does, but we will see. I can get more complicated from there. It may be that what he does is put in those folds and then go back and do the folds again and do the folds again, and you know, all the parts that wouldn't be nearly so exciting to show in a video, but maybe what makes the piece come out that way. So I'm going to do the gather and a half on this. I've got my new sleeve on, as you can see. I got my new koozie for the newspaper over there, and I read all about how to take care of that, so should be good to go. Glass feels real good today. Getting a little late start. Went into town, just kind of took care of some errands. Little Mill kind of likes that run into town thing on the weekends, so it was nice to get him out of the out of the house a little bit too. Little guy. Oh, I got a new block. This thing's egg-shaped for doing neat little paperweights. But now I gotta be able to figure it out between it and my other number 6 block. So I'm gonna have to write egg on it or something. This got pretty cold on me. But I can always put a little more heat back into it here. Forgot my torch to hook it up, so maybe I'll end up doing that before this is over. Oh, there's the bubble. No problem. Nice bubble. So we'll get another gather. Put the transparent frit on. I'm really going to have to remember this because it's totally the opposite of the way I think about doing it. Put that on, then really put that white on. Blow it out just a little bit so I've got something to work with as far as putting those lines in it to twist it. And then we'll see where it goes from there. Transparent first. And on this transparent I have a blue called Lagoon, Deep Lagoon. So as you can imagine, that's like a real dark turquoisey blue, but in a transparent. I'm gonna have to get used to this sleeve. I don't feel the pipe in my hand now. I feel the sleeve palm. Kind of wish it had a little more grip to it. Might as well layer this on real good, get the full effect, if there is one. It's a little unusual today. I didn't do any practice thing. I haven't done any tumblers or anything. But it seems like in my mind all week long I've been blowing glass, so it's kind of funny. I think now you can see me working this Marver too. Had a little rust on it this morning. I had to buff it out with the wire wheel and the grinder. We'll get more heat and get some white. They had that nice new tripod for the iPod Touch at REI. It's about 30 bucks, not too bad, but it comes also with an adapter that'll grip the phone and then you can put it on any tripod. So similar to what I got for my iPhone, but that hooks onto the case. Big chunks of frit don't really like to grab that well. They used frit, or I would have used powder. It would have been my thought that they would go with powder, but I've never seen that effect before, even on bowls that I do with this kind of coloring. And you know, it's just something I want to see. Maybe you wouldn't see it on a bowl because it's on the inside of it, but I'm just going to really bake in this white. Some more. see how that does. It's not covering it completely, but I would think I'd get some effect from that. I used up all that I put out practically. So I'll blow it out just a little bit. It's not so much that I can't gather over it again, but just so that that bubble is established. Maybe I don't want it fully established though, because I'm going to twist this thing and I'm going to have to blow back into it anyway. So I'm going to blow it a little bit, but not too much. Glass off the pipe a little bit. Burn that color really in there, just really get it cooked in. Otherwise it's just still going to look like frit. Make it a little easier to burn in there by making the shape of this thing a little bit less oblong. Seeing interesting things happen here with the extra heat put into this. So I wanted to pick up a little bit more color and do the same thing. And usually I'll, in the effort of saving time, as soon as it looks hot enough, just move on from there. But I've been starting to think that some of the color effects that people get probably require an intense heat be laid onto the color. And like bead people will work a lot with holding the bead on certain parts of the bead into the flame, and the colors, due to the chemistry, just start to interact differently and seep out, dark colors seeping out into a lighter color, and just getting really neat effects that you don't see otherwise, and more so than you would when you just apply frit to something. So it's really baking in there right now. Another advantage of having a super hot glory hole. I mean, I never bake anything like this. This is pretty amazing. It's just like it's different. Way different right now. So I'm going to block it. Really hot. Wanting to move around on me. Back into it. That was easy. It's that hot, the air just goes right into it. try to put those creases in this thing. I thought he put 4 in it. Let something start to sag one way and then flip it over, and you got that much time to work on it then. Probably not what he would call perfect, but I think it'll still twist. Maybe I'll go ahead and even it out. Particular looked a little less than the others. Okay, well, let's twist this up now and see what it does. I just hope that putting that much of a bubble in it didn't mess it up, because you don't want bubbles getting trapped inside your piece. Definitely got a good twist in there of that color. We'll just have to see what it looks like. Twist it a little bit more. Melt those ridges back in, because he didn't have bubbles in there, and that would definitely make bubbles. I'm going to try for the exact same technique that he did. Perhaps heating that way back in like that is important too. I think it was a good choice of color for the transparent, because that's really seems intense. That's the only thing this Kevlar thing is missing, is maybe like a little texture on it, you know? I can do it without the, you know, just pull it up over too. It doesn't have to go on my hand. That's probably what I need to do. So just going to work this out, get it nice and smooth again. I'll let it chill off and get another gather on it. I don't see it. Maybe it'll come, but I sure don't see it right now. Maybe I should twist it again to try to establish that again. I don't know. It's just not there. I'm not going to see anything about this coming out like his did. But I'll just do this because that's the way that they did it in the video, and I don't want to go too nuts on it until I am absolutely sure I have to. Got a lot of glass. I was afraid that it might hurt that bubble that I blew into it, and it looks like it actually closed it up, and now it's trying to blow out of the top here. So I'd probably have been better off just not even really starting a bubble yet, I guess. Although it could be that he was real careful not to seal that bubble somehow, but I don't know how you do that. Because as soon as you twist it, the glass is going to want to fold in over itself on the inside and the outside. So probably just not blowing much of a bubble to begin with, and then blow it into the new glass. So now this thing's kind of tough because it wants to collapse on itself real high up, and it's going to be tricky. So I got to chill that part, chill the very end, and then blow a little bit. Just don't want that part to get too thin. There it goes. Going to can be tricky to put the neckline in because of that thin glass. It wants to cool off really fast. So I'm going to go ahead and do that before I blow it anymore. Kind of take it in steps if I have to here. Go ahead and get another bit of heat for it. It's already collapsing. I shouldn't have blown it, but sometimes it's hard after 3 gallons to blow into glass. You get a bubble started, so kind of tough to figure that one out. So now I don't really want to blow that out anymore on that part, which I usually spend a lot of time trying to blow out. So I'm going to move on down the piece. It's possible that they used a transparent white also. This is an opaque white. So I tried one of those out and it was really, really nice. Made a vase out of some of it that I had as a sample. Actually, it came out much less transparent than I thought it would. Kind of looked like a little bit darker than egg whites. Like not cooked egg whites. When I was in the bar, there's something about this that didn't come out like that, so I don't know. We'll hope it looks interesting anyway. If it was easy, everyone would do it, but I tell you what, it's just a cool effect. I'm going to try to figure it out. Someday I'll get it, and then make a variation of it. That's sort of my own thing. rotates the piece, stretching it down, and as I marver, I pull away from the table, and then I'll stretch it out because it sticks to the table somewhat. It's so pliable. I'm going to try to straighten it up on the bench now a little bit. See how much more glass I have. If I have a lot more glass, I'll stretch it out, add volume to it, and that just kind of eats up that glass. Gonna try out that new newspaper pad from Mama. Very nice. No ash in my face. Very nice. I think there's a lot of glass left. So, without getting too crazy, shape, just swing it down a little bit more. That top is going to be tough to get back in line where it blew out and kind of folded, got too thin. A little bigger. I kind of see that design in it, but not much more than I do when I do a normal twist in a piece. You gotta figure out how it keeps, it separates out so nicely and gets so layered. Flatten the bottom now. Chill the area above the bottom so when I push against it, it doesn't just fold. I'll tell you what, that sleeve's nice right there. I can really feel the glass above the sleeve. Going to be pretty. I like the effect of really burning it in. I think that helped, but you know, it's not there as far as the other stuff. But boy, I tell you, it's going to be some pretty color in this thing. Definitely winterish, but you know, if you want a theme for Montana, winter isn't a bad one. See a little lump that I'm going to try to get rid of here. Seem to do it. It's so long, it just doesn't even really want to stay on the rails too easily. Gotta keep it moving. You end up pushing on something unevenly. It's not too bad. I just don't know what I'm going to do with the top. Hopefully I can use my puffer and fix all that crap that's gone wrong with it. And I'm going to spend some time here heating it up so it doesn't just crack when I do the transfer. It's a pretty piece. Weather today, kind of between sunshine and rain. Had a little bit of rain, but I'm in my t-shirt even outside, so I think that should do it. Even if the top of it cracks a little bit, it's not the end of the world. Just trim it off and fix it. There's a close-up on the punny making right there, I guess, with the iPod. Just cracking all over the place up there, so I guess that's good. Good sign. There it went. Definitely thin up there. But you recognize the problem early on and you get a chance, you know. It's when it's so far gone that you don't even know it, and you don't even know it, that you're really in trouble. And that's experience and all that. Real hard to tell if this thing's straight or not with all these twists in it. It's too bad, I just can't really tell. My eyes are going on me. Being as long as this, you're going to want to do a lot of reheats to keep the bottom part hot. I wouldn't be at all surprised if I ended up with a crack in the punny. It looks like that top's getting hot pretty fast here too. I'm surprised, but it could just be those wrinkles. I'll have to go out this next time here and see what's up. No, it's hot. Oh, that's nice. Just went right in there. I don't know that helped very much. get the whole thing hot and then puff it out and see if I can get it more cone shaped. Paper just took those nasty wrinkles right out of it. So I don't want to get it too hot. I think that'll probably be good right there. And that's a tricky thing right now too, is even in that thin spot, it's going to want to puff out more. Okay, I think I'm set up pretty good now for a good puff. Let's try it one more time. I don't know. Might be a little off up there. There goes the punty cracking, like I said. Okay now. Go ahead and box it. I think it's going to have a nice side to it anyway. It ain't going to be perfect. And it all comes down to that problem I had at the very beginning with that blowing out like it did. Not going to sit nice, but at least it came off. It does look pretty straight though, I have to say, so it wasn't exactly what I wanted to achieve with all the neat color effects, but I think it turned out all right. And it didn't seem like it took all that long either. I'm going to go ahead and shut down the cameras and be back in just a minute.